Greetings. My name is Muhammad Fadlan bin Latif, matrix number BB23110251, and my part is to construct an appropriate graph or chart to compare the relative frequency and the cumulative relative frequency between the two performance indicators. Before we make a suitable graph, first we need to make a table of data for both performance indicators. In this case, the performance indicator were the production cost and the profit margin. The data inside this table will be the frequency, relative frequency, and the cumulative relative frequency for both the production cost and the profit margin. To find the suitable interval, first we need to take the highest value and then minus it with the lowest value and divide it with 5. To find the relative frequency, we need to take the current frequency and then divided it with the total frequency. In this case, both the production cost and the profit margin total frequency is 30. To find the cumulative relative frequency, all we need to do is add all the previous relative frequency to the relative frequency for the current row. In this case, both the cumulative relative frequency is 1. The data in this table will determine how the graph would look. In order to make the comparison between profit margin and production cost, I use the histogram graph. As we can see, the highest relative frequency for production cost is between 11 to 29, whereas the profit margin, the highest is between 25 to 28. For the cumulative relative frequency, I use the line graph. Before we make a suitable graph, first we need to make a table of data for both performance indicator. In this case, the performance indicator were the production cost and the profit margin. The data inside this table will be the frequency, relative frequency, and the cumulative relative frequency for both the production cost and the profit margin. To find the suitable interval, first we need to take the highest value and then minus it with the lowest value and divide it with 5. To find the relative frequency, we need to take the current frequency and then divide it with the total frequency. In this case, both the production cost and the profit margin total frequency is 30. To find the cumulative relative frequency, all we need to do is add all the previous relative frequency to the relative frequency for the current row. In this case, both the cumulative relative frequency is 1. The data in this table will determine how the graph would look.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Next, I will present our part 2 is calculate and compare measure of the central location between the two key performance indicators. My name is Muhammad Hakim Eman bin Sukni and my metric number is BB23160922. In a next slide, I will discuss the three main measure of the central intelligence, which is a mean, median, and mode. Each measure provides a unique perspective on the distribute of a data. So first is the mean, the average value in a data set calculated by summing all a value and dividing by the number of the data point. Second is the median value when data is arranged in ascending order. For data set, we whole number of value is a central value. For even numbering data set, this average of the two median value. So the last is a mode, the most frequently occurring value in the dataset useful of identify the most common element. So together, this measure help you summarize and interpret data effective. So next, I will present how to calculate the means, median, and mode. So first, for production cost median, for mean is an up all production cost value and divided by the number of the company 13. So 14 at 2 per 2 bahagi 13. So the answer is 49 per 473. So next is a median for the production cost. So the median is the median value between the 15 and 16 position. So 26 per 3 minus plus 26 per 5 bahagi 2. So the answer is 26 per 4. 26.4. So untuk for mode, the production cost millions no repeated value, so there is a no mode. So next is the profit margin for means and up a profit margin percentage and divide by the number of company 13. So 741.7 bahagi 13. So the answer is 24.723. So median for the profit margin is the median value between 15 and 16 position. So 28.8 plus 27.6 bahagi 2. So the answer is 28 per 2. For mode, the profit margin, the most frequency occurring value is 21 per 2. So this for how to calculate the mean, medium, and mode. The next slide is the graph for the difference between means, medium, and mode. You can see the graph in the below. So mean is average production cost million. The average value is 49.47. The profit margin percent, the average value is 24.72. For median, the production cost, the median value is a 26.4. For margin, a profit margin percent, the median value is 28.2. So next is the mode, the production cost million, they not repeating value, so no mode. And then the profit margin percent, the most frequent value is 21 per 1. So the conclusion for the what I present today, the mean presents the average, the median is the median value, and the mode is the most frequent value in any this chart help compare the different in value of production cost and profit margin. So this all for me. So thank you. I will pass the next partner. Next, I want to answer the question from Muhammad Fadlan. Presenter 1. Why the move for profit margin is 21 and not 21 or 2 or 2020 21? Answer for why is the mode for profit margin is 21.1 and not 21.2 or 22.1. The mode is the value that apply most frequency in a dataset. For the profit margin in this assignment, mode for profit margin 21.1% is the mode because it occurs the most frequency in a dataset in applied twitch 21 per 2% and 2020 22 per 1 only apply one in a data, so they connect be the mode. To identify the mode, simple check the frequency of which value in a dataset. If they multiply value with the highest frequency, the data can be classified bimodal or multimodal. If not, value repeat the dataset as a normal. This is all for the answer. Thank you so much.
My name is Mohammed Zaisham bin Jusman, metric number PB 23161034. For part 3, calculate percentiles and construct boxplot for each of the two performance indicators. To analyze the two key performance indicators, production cost and profit margin, we need to calculate the percentiles for each of the KPIs and then construct boxplots for to visualize the distribution. From the data given, we need to calculate percentiles for production costs. Q1. To find Q1, we calculate the position of the 25th percentile in the sorted list. With 30 data points, Q1 is at position 25,100 times 30, so equal to 7.5. Fraction 25 times 100 divided by 30 equal to 7.5. So we average the 7 and 8 values, which is Q1 equal to 26.3 plus 26.52 equal to 26.4 fraction 26.3 plus 26.5 divided by 2 equal to 26.4 million. For Q2, the median is the value at position 50,100 times 30 equal to 15 fraction 50 times 100 divided by 30 equal to 15. The value at position 15 is in the sorted list is 48.8 million. And then for Q3 is at position 75,000 and 100 times 30 equal to 22.5 fraction 75 times 100 divided by 30 equal to 22.5. So we average the 22nd and 23rd values, which is Q3 equal to 64.1 plus 65.72 equal to 64.9 fraction 64.1 plus 65.7 divided by 2 equal to 64.9 million. So the percentiles for production costs are Q1 is 26.4 million, Q2 is 48.8 million, and Q3 is 64.9 million. And then we need to find the profit margins for Q1 for the 25th percentile 25,100 times 30 equal to 7.5 fraction 25 times 100 divided by 30 is 7.5. So we average the 7 and 8 values is Q1 equal to 21.2 plus 21.22 equal to 21.2% fraction 21.2 plus 21.2 divided times 2 equal to 21.2%. For Q2, the median is at position 15, so the value at position 15 in the sorted list is 23.6 million, 23.6%. And then for Q3, We average the 22nd and 23rd values is Q3 equal to 25.8 plus 26.32 equal to 26.05%. Fraction 25.8 plus 26.3 times 2 equal to 26.05. So the percentage for profit margin Q1 is 21.2%, Q2 is 23.6%, and Q3 is 26.05%. After that, we need to construct box plots. A box plot visually shows the distribution of a data set by displaying the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum values. Box plot, box plot for production cost is minimum is 11.8 million, Q1 is 26.4 million, median is 48.8 million, Q3 is 64.9 million, and maximum 97.2 million. And for box plot for profit margins is minimum is 16.3%, Q1 is 21.2%, median is 23.6%, Q3 is 26.05%, and maximum is 31.2%. To construct box plot in each database, production cost and box plot for profit margins, we use the formula for production cost is IQR equal to Q3 minus Q1. And for profit margins, we use the formula which is IQRS equal to Q3 minus Q1. It's the answer from the percentiles and box plots. You can observe the following. Production costs have a wage range from 11.8 million to 97.2 million, with a relatively even distribution of values between the 25th and 75th percentiles. The median is at 48.8 million, indicating that half of the companies have production costs below this value. For profit margins, range from 16.3% to 31.2%, with the median at 23.6%. The spread of data indicates that while some companies manage to achieve high profit margins over 30%, a significant portion of the sample has lower margins under 25%. By calculating percentiles and constructing box plots, we gain insights into the distribution of production costs and profit margins, which can guide further analysis of how these KPIs are related across the companies in the dataset.
Hello, I'm Rafiq. Matric number BB 23161060. Okay, today I want to explain about calculate and compare measure of the position between the two key performance indicators. Okay, for this part we had to use a 5 formula, which is first the range, mean absolute deviation MAD, variation, standard deviation, and for the last coefficient of variation CV. Okay, for the first part, we had to use a formula of range is the maximum value of the data minus the minimum value of the data. So for this part, okay, the range of production cost range is 85.4, and for the range of profit margins is 14.9. So the range of production cost more than higher from the range of profit margins. Okay, for the next formula is mean absolute deviation, MAD. Okay, for this part, we can take one by one the data and minus with mean. After that, we had to divide it, the total of data columns. Okay, the MAD of food production cost is 47.824, and for MAD for profit margins is 23.899. So we see the production cost more higher than profit margins. Okay, for the next part is variance and standard deviation. The standard deviation. Okay, formula for variance of standard deviation SD have in addition the square of variance value. We can then see the variance for the formula inside the slide. Standard deviation, the variance of the production cost is 1.674.787. Standard deviation for and variance for the profit margins is 0.19. So 697. We see the for the next part, standard deviation, production cost, standard deviation more higher than standard deviation of profit with margins. But for the last is coefficient of variation. Okay, the formula of this coefficient variation CV is using the standard deviation divide the total of mean. Okay, the CV of production cost is 96.57, and the CV of profit margin is 96.76. So the CV of profit margin more higher than production cost. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Khairul Nizam bin Bakhtiar and my matrix number is BB 23110473. Today I will present part 5 is calculate and interpret measure of association between the two key performance indicator KPI. For this part I will focus for two things, the covariance and the correlation. So for the covariance formula, you all can see the slide, and after I put all the information in the formula, I get the answer is 0.083 for 30 companies. And for your information, N stand for company. The next part is correlation. For this part, the answer I get is 0.0615. The formula for this is RXY equal to SXY divided SX and SY. SXY stand for the covariance, SX and SY is standard deviation, X and Y. The formula I put at the slide. You can see the formula at there. Thank you.